Thank you for your interest in the Best Friends Animal Sanctuary Foster Program. The goal of this program is to place animals into temporary homes until they are ready to be adopted into permanent homes. Best Friends Animal Sanctuary partners with shelters, rescues, and humane societies across the country to provide a safe home for difficult to place animals. This often includes baby and senior animals that are pretty fragile and they can be susceptible to disease in a shelter environment. We also provide a home to many animals with behavioral and medical challenges. Because our sanctuary is such a unique refuge, the foster program here is pretty unique too. Fostering is an integral part of our work here, and we would not be able to rescue as many animals as we do without the help of our dedicated foster volunteers. We believe that almost anyone can be a successful foster volunteer. Before you get started, make sure you can provide the time and attention needed to successfully care for an animal in your home. If you rent your home or apartment, confirm that your lease agreement allows pets and that your landlord is aware of your plan to foster. All fosters must have access to reliable transportation and be willing to drive to the Upper Canyon at the sanctuary for appointments. You must also be able to communicate with our foster team by phone and email and have regular access to a computer or internet-connected device. Finally, the dedication and compassion to help animals in need is what drives many of our foster volunteers to be successful with our program. Fostering with Best Friends Animal Sanctuary does not require purchasing anything to get started. Any basic care supplies you need, such as travel carriers, food, or litter, can be provided by Best Friends if needed. You are welcome to provide any of these items on your own, but please understand that we will not be able to reimburse you for any purchases that you make. At Best Friends Animal Sanctuary, we have opportunities to foster all kinds of different animals. The most common type of animal we need fosters for are kittens. Kittens end up in shelters for a variety of reasons at all different ages. Generally, kittens in our foster program have graduated from our kitten nursery and are healthy, independent, and ready to explore a larger environment. Litters typically range in size from 1 to 6 kittens. They require a 2 to 4 week foster period with weekly trips to the sanctuary for vaccinations and spay-neuter surgery. Occasionally, we will need fosters for kittens that are even younger. They will either be brought to us with their mother or will require bottle feeding or gruel feeding. If you are interested in helping out with these kittens, please let the foster coordinator know and they will arrange an in-depth training session for you to learn how to care for this type of foster. The sanctuary also requires foster homes for puppies. In order for us to admit puppies into the sanctuary, they must spend 2 to 3 weeks in a foster home during a quarantine period. They may require trips up to the sanctuary each week for vaccinations and checkups. Occasionally, we will also get mom dogs with young puppies, which requires a longer period of time in foster. If you're interested in either of these opportunities, please let the foster coordinator know. The sanctuary is always looking for people who might be willing to foster animals with behavioral or medical challenges that make sanctuary life difficult for them. Examples of animals in need of behavioral or medical foster include those recovering from broken bone or surgical procedure, animals that refuse to eat or don't get along well with others at the sanctuary due to stress, and animals who need time to stabilize on a long-term medication for conditions like diabetes or seizures. A foster home can provide these animals with a much-needed safe space to learn new skills or stabilize medically in order to become more adoptable. In general, these animals will need a place to stay for at least 6 weeks. Sometimes, but not always, the foster period can last much longer for animals in this program. We are always looking for volunteers who are willing to foster adult dogs and cats, bunnies, guinea pigs, parrots, horses, pigs, and more. The time commitments and skill level for animals in these programs will vary greatly. We are always happy to provide training and educational opportunities for volunteers interested in learning more about fostering different types of animals. Please let the foster coordinator know if this sounds intriguing to you. Once you've completed your volunteer profile, the sanctuary's foster specialist will reach out to you to talk about animals currently in need of foster. We may add you to one of our Facebook groups, send you one of our weekly email newsletters that frequently include animals in need of foster, or contact you directly via phone or email if an animal comes up that fits your skills and interests. You know your children and pets better than anyone else. If you think they are behaviorally and mentally capable of fostering, we believe you. Fostering can be a wonderful way to introduce children to different species of animals and the responsibilities of pet care if you don't have the ability to adopt. Best Friends will provide handouts and mentorship for introducing foster animals to your children and personal pets. Some foster animals may not be comfortable with children or other animals in a home, so be sure to let the foster coordinator know about all members of your household. Fostering is a great option for people of any age. However, volunteers under 18 must have a parent or guardian as the legal foster, and all children should be supervised when interacting with foster animals. Not all of our foster animals are suited for children or seniors. There may be physical tasks like lifting heavy crates, taking long walks, or restraining strong animals involved in fostering. So be sure to let us know what physical limitations you might have so we can find the right fit for you. You may also be wondering if there are any housing requirements in order to be a foster volunteer. Different animals will have different housing requirements. Foster kittens only require a small enclosed room, like a bathroom or spare bedroom. We have even had volunteers foster kittens in travel trailers. Some animals will require a fenced yard, but others are totally comfortable hanging out in your apartment. We may ask to do a home visit to make sure your home is the right fit for a foster animal. For this reason, all fosters must live within an hour drive of the sanctuary at this time. While all animals at the sanctuary receive routine veterinary care, there is still a chance that one or more of your foster animals could catch a shelter-related illness. It's very common for young or old animals or animals with an already compromised immune system to succumb to illness, especially in a shelter environment, where there is an increased risk of exposure. If you notice any signs of illness, such as sneezing, coughing, vomiting, diarrhea, or loss of appetite or energy, let us know immediately. If you have resident pets at home, you should make sure they are up to date on vaccinations before bringing foster animals home, as some illnesses can be contagious. It is also possible for certain parasites and fungal infections to be transmitted to people, so always make sure your foster area stays clean and wash your hands after handling your foster animals. If you are unsure if your foster animal needs medical attention, email the foster team at fostercanab@bestfriends.org, and we will help you evaluate their medical needs. If your foster animal is in need of emergency or after-hours care, we also operate an emergency hotline, which you can call 24/7. Best Friends cannot cover or provide vet care for owned or resident pets, and we will not reimburse you for any vet care you seek for your foster animals outside of our sanctuary veterinary clinic. If, while fostering, you have a personal emergency or are suddenly unable to commit to the duration of your foster activity, please contact the foster team and arrange to return your animal to the sanctuary. We are often able to send these animals to another foster home if given enough advance notice. However, it can be detrimental to the health of foster animals to move them around a lot. So we do ask that if you commit to fostering an animal, you house them for the entirety of their foster term, unless it's a serious emergency or something you discuss beforehand with the foster coordinator. Remember, while we often have an estimate of when an animal can return to the sanctuary, we can't ever 100% guarantee that date, and it might be adjusted, so please plan vacations and foster commitments carefully so they don't conflict. Once your animal's foster period has ended, you will need to return that animal to the sanctuary. Kittens and puppies typically return when they are 2 months old and weigh about 2 pounds. They will be spayed or neutered at our clinic and placed up for adoption. For adult animals that are already fixed, we use the information you give us in their life care plan to create a new kennel card that will highlight the animal for adoption. If, while you are fostering, you find someone who is interested in adopting your foster animal, please contact the foster department before the animal returns to the sanctuary. Any potential adopter, including yourself, will need to fill out an adoption survey, pay an adoption fee, and be approved for adoption by one of our adoption specialists before they can take that animal home. You may not transfer the care of your foster animal to anyone without written approval from the adoptions department. To get started as a foster volunteer, please complete a volunteer profile on our website and indicate which animals you are interested in fostering for the sanctuary. Once approved, you'll receive an email within a week to coordinate picking up a foster animal. If you have any questions or run into difficulties completing these next steps, please email us at fostercanab@bestfriends.org for assistance. Thank you so much for watching this video and for your interest in Best Friends Animal Sanctuary's foster program. Your dedication to helping animals in need is truly appreciated. We look forward to hearing from you.